I know that these two are congruent? How do I know these are congruent? Do you know that this little this symbol means equal? Okay, so because they both have a line, that means that this length and this length are equal. And because they're equal, these two are also equal. So if RS is 122, then PQ is also 122. All right, go ahead. We're going to talk about tangents today. Who remembers the Pythagorean theorem? C squared equals A squared plus B squared. Does that sound familiar? Okay, we're going to use that a lot today. So we're starting 5.5, which is tangents. Go ahead and turn to page 18. And then I wrote these two statements to kind of summarize what a tangent is. So take a minute and copy these two statements down. So I just took that paragraph and summarized it to two sentences. Okay, first of all, what is a tangent? Is a segment that touches once on the outside. And I should say touches circle. Because touches the circle. Once, and it's on the outside of the circle. So for example, if I draw a line like this, that's not a tangent because that's going through the circle and it's on the inside of the circle. Or if I draw something that does like this, again, that goes through the circle twice. A tangent only touches a circle one time, so like that would be a tangent. It touches the circle in one spot on the outside. And when it does, it forms a 90-degree angle with the radius. So those are the only two things that we need to keep in mind for today's lesson. And again, because I am doing two lessons in one, it's going to take about 30 minutes, maybe 25. But it's mainly on the calculator. So which is why you need a calculator. So what is a tangent? Tangent touches a circle once on the outside and it forms 90 degrees with the radius. All right, anybody need more time to copy down that summary? All right, well, let's hit it. Let's look at this example here. We need to determine if AB, it says if AB is a radius of circle A, we need to determine if BC is tangent. Now, the first thing I want you to do, anytime you see a diagram like this, that point of tangency is right here. Put that 90-degree angle right there. So what we're going to do is see if this is tangent, and we're going to do that with the Pythagorean theorem. The Pythagorean theorem says C squared equals A squared plus B squared. Give me a thumbs up if you've seen this before or heard of this. Okay, C squared is always, this always is your longest side. That's always the longest side. So I have three sides, 9, 12, and 15. Which one is the longest? 15. So I'm going to set this up as 15 squared, and then the other two sides could be flip-flop. 9 squared plus 12 squared. I'm going to put a question mark above this because I need to see if this is true. So go ahead and pick up your calculator and take 15 squared, or 15 times 15. And you should get 225. And I'm putting a question mark because I don't know if this is true or not. That's what I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see if this is true. If it's true, the answer is yes. If it's not true, the answer is no or false. So what is 9 squared? 81. And what's 12 squared? All right, so go ahead and add 81 plus 144. And see if you get 225. Did you get 225? Yes. So that means yes, and then we would say segment BC is tangent. And it's a yes because this is true. If it wasn't true, we would say no. So again, just remember the longest side has to be C, and A and B are the other two sides. All right, let's look at our next question. So now this is telling us that it is tangent, and we have to solve it for X. So again, I'm going to put this little box here. And that 17 is opposite of that 90-degree angle. So we're going to set it up. We have our C squared equals A squared plus B squared. This time C is 17. I don't know A, but I do know B. All right, so let's pick up our calculators. Figure out what 17 times 17 is. And 14 times 14. All right, go ahead and subtract 196. Take 289 minus 196. And then square the 93. And it says when you hit that square root, you're going to get a decimal. You should get 9.64. And that would be my answer. So go ahead and practice with your calculator. Practice taking the square root of 93. Does anyone need help typing that in? You have to hit the green key first. And then you have to hit the button above enter. You have to hit the square root, second function, and then type in 93. Hit enter, and then hit that button. All right, let's go ahead and see if this is tangent. So when it says determine, we don't have to solve it. We just substitute in our numbers. So what's my longest side? What's the longest side of the circle of the triangle? 41. So 41 squared. I'm gonna put a question mark because I don't know if it is or not. I'm going to say no because it doesn't look like it is, but pick up your calculator and figure out what 41 squared is, 9 squared, and 40 squared. Oh, if it is, it's gonna work, I think. Never mind. So is this gonna work? Is it true or false? What's 81 plus 1600? So because it's true, you would say yes, segment HI is tangent. All right, go ahead and try to set this one up by yourself. See if it's equal. So what's the longest side? 13. And then the other two sides. Go ahead, type that in your calculator, see if it's true or false. So 169 does not equal 160, so no, AB is not tangent. Because remember, it has to be equal in order for it to be a tangent. All right, any questions about these so far? Let's go to our next page. So it says find the value of X. This is my 90-degree angle. Opposite of the 90-degree angle is C. So you have X squared. So C squared equals 15 squared plus 20 squared. Go ahead and figure out what is 15 squared plus 20 squared. Type that in your calculators. And then type in C equals the square root of 625. Which you get 25. So that was today's lesson. And now we're going to move on to tomorrow's lesson, which is solving if you have two segments that are tangent and they touch the same point, they are equal to each other. So when we look here, it says for theorem 5.12, let's go ahead and fill this in your notes. Tangent to a circle means that if two segments from the same outside point, because that's what exterior means, it means outside, are tangent to a circle, then they are equal. Okay, so these two tangents, this is that point right here, because they both touch the same point C, then we can put that little mark to show that they're congruent right here. We can do the same thing on this example. So you're just setting them equal to each other. So this first one is actually very easy because it's x plus 3 equals 7. The second one is a little harder. 4x plus 2 equals 2x plus 8. So take a minute and solve both of those examples for x. Who got x equals 4 for the first one? All right, for the second one, I'm going to subtract the 2x. And then I'm going to subtract the 2. And then divide by 2. So we would get x equals 3. All right, any questions about solving or setting up your equations? So our last two are word problems, so we're going to go to the next page where we have to find x and then substitute it back in. And then we'll end there. So it says we have a photographer. So this is a person. And she's taking a picture of the fountain. So she's right here so that the fountain is centered. Segments AB and BC are tangent. So they want us to find the length. Now, because we know that they're tangent, we know you can go ahead and put a mark that these two are, because they're touching the same point A, that means they're equal. So let's go ahead and set up our equation. 7x minus 9 equals 5x plus 5. And then go ahead and solve it. And I'm going to come around and see what we get. Okay, what are some answers you all got for x? 7. Anybody else get 7? All right, let's work through it. I would probably start by subtracting the 5x. And then I would add the 9. And then divide by 2. But it says find the length of AB. So because it wants us to find the length, this is AB. We have to substitute that 7 back into that expression. So AB equals 7x minus 9. Go ahead and put your 7 in to find the length of AB. And you should get that. Go ahead, type that in your calculator. Take 7 times 7 minus 9. And you should get 40. And I think this was in feet. So 40 feet is the length of AB. All right, we got our last question. Go ahead and read the next. Again, you're going to set them equal to each other. Solve for x. So when you see that, you should know you're setting them equal to each other and you're solving for x. That should be your first step. And after you find X, make sure you substitute it back into segment AB. So your final answer should be 10 feet. Who had 10 feet? All right, use this time to work on homework 3. It's due Friday. You should be able to do the majority of them. If you came in late, the homework is up here. Feel free to pick up a copy. You can do it. You can do the whole assignment. And then when you get to the end, numbers 10, 11, and 12. Can I see your note packet real quick? Numbers 10, 11, and 12 are going to be from page, going back to the beginning, page 9 and 10. There you go. But you can get that whole entire assignment done today. I might give extra credit if you show it to me today. All right.